Michael Southeast Foxbody here with you. Thought I'd do a little tech video today. Been a little while since we did one of them. I looked at a post in the Foxbody Tech group on Facebook the other day. And yes, believe it or not, folks, there are some people that can ask legitimate questions, not dumb shit. So his problem was he couldn't get his AC compressor to act right. Wasn't wanting to kick on. Said he's been through a couple low pressure switches, still couldn't get it to work. Well, he didn't know that on that switch, there's an adjustment screw. A lot of y'all don't know that. It's something that's not really talked about a whole lot unless you've been in a shop and had to fool with this kind of stuff. So today, I'm gonna show you guys a little quick video on how to make some adjustments with that and to help your AC stay running. So first thing, anything on a Ford 94 and below, your air conditioner, your compressor, is supposed to stay running constantly when either your AC is selected or your defrost. And I know some of you folks probably think, wow, I didn't know that the AC compressor kicks on when it's in defrost. But yes, that is correct. Anything 94 and up, that switch is made to cycle the compressor off and on. Pressure will build up in the system, it'll kick the compressor on, drop it back down, switch kicks back off. So, switch is pretty important. On these cars, you know, they're hot as hell, they're small, engines get real hot. Down here in Georgia, it's the surface of the sun hot, it's miserable. I ran around in an 18-wheeler for years delivering freight without air conditioner back when I was younger. I'm not younger anymore, and I damn sure don't want to ride with no air conditioning in my Mustang. So for those of you guys that might have done a R12 to 134A swap, or you're sitting there, can't figure out why your compressor's not kicking on, and you're able to jump it with a jumper wire through the harness and make it work, this is probably gonna be the answer to your question. Because that little switch, if it's totally bad completely, it won't let your compressor kick on at all. If it's out of adjustment, it also won't let it kick on properly. So I'm gonna go through steps, a little quick video, like I said, how to turn the adjustment screw. I'm not giving you technical specs. You're gonna have to look those up because you have to have your AC gauges hooked up to your car so you can watch your pressures and make sure your AC system is charged accordingly. And I'm not gonna rattle off all these technical specs because number one, it's Sunday and I don't have them in front of me. And number two, everybody's temperature outside can vary from place to place depending on where you're at. And it's just gonna depend on that as to what your gauges are gonna read due to your outside ambient temperature. So anyway, we're gonna do a quick little shot on this. I'm gonna flip the camera around, we're gonna get this started. All right, folks, what you're looking at here is your AC cycling switch. This is mounted on the dryer, and the dryer is connected to the big line that runs all the way around your engine bay over here to your AC compressor, all right? That's gonna be the low side. If for y'all that don't know what low is, the low side is the smaller port. It has the L on it for low. Sometimes you gotta explain stuff to folks. Anyway, on this switch is what causes your compressor to cycle or not cycle in some cases. A lot of guys will replace this switch brand new when they do a conversion and they can't get their compressor to kick on. So, I'm gonna show you what you need to adjust to get this compressor to kick on like it's supposed to and stay running. All right, so my switch on the Red Devil here is plugged in. You can see it. We're gonna unplug it and we're gonna look down in there. And you see that little Phillips, flathead screw down in the bottom? That is your adjustment. So what you're gonna need to do, if your compressor's not cycling, you're gonna need to turn it clockwise, if I'm not mistaken. You might have to fiddle with it a little bit. Like I said, it's been a couple years since I messed with one of these, but you'll get the drift of it when you start fooling with it. Put your gauges on the car. And what I like to do, I take a jumper harness and I plug it in on these spade connectors right here. Just a harness to jump it, to get it to make it think that it's activated. Like a lot of times what you do, if you're trying to charge your AC system and it's too low and your compressor won't kick on, you use your jumper wire in the connector itself to fool the ECM into making it run. And so what you'll have to do, you'll do the same thing. You'll do a jumper here and one to right here where you can actually make your compressor work without this connector plugged in. So just jump it across. And then while when your compressor's, if it's not running, just start turning your screw and watching your gauges, and you'll start adjusting that screw little by little, and eventually your compressor will kick on. So when your compressor's running, at that point, you need to start looking at your gauge pressures to make sure you have it set right. Now, don't quote me off the top of my head, I can't tell you, but if you look up the pressure your pressure settings for depending on what temperature it is. You know, as cooler the temperature is, the lower your pressure is going to be on your high side. So when it's hot as hell outside like it is now, you're going to be running a higher pressure on your high side on your compressor, on your gauges. So make your adjustments. Look at what your specs are for where you need to be. Make sure your AC is fully charged and run it like it's supposed to, and then adjust that little screw in there, and you'll get your compressor to kick on and stay running, and then get it to the pressure where you need to be, and you'll be good to go. All right, I hope that helps some of y'all out. Getting your compressors to start working like they're supposed to, so you can have working air conditioning and you're not going to be hot and miserable trying to drive your car to a show or a car meet or a drag race or whatever. And yes, I know some of you drag racer guys are all about, oh, you don't need no air conditioning in your car, it takes away horsepower. It ain't going to make that big of a difference. Leave your AC on the car. I promise you, you'll enjoy it a hell of a lot more with air conditioning than you will without. So like I said, I hope that helped some of you guys out. Hadn't been on here in a while, made a video, but I thought that was a pretty good topic to bring up to help you out with. And, you know, if you didn't know about it, cool, you learned something new. If you did know about it, great. You know, share the knowledge, help some other people out. So anyway, stay tuned to our, Facebook or Instagram page. We're going to do a little meetup here in Rockmart in the near future called Mustangs and Margaritas. I'm sure you guys can pretty much figure out that it's going to be at a Mexican restaurant. Cool little place we got here in town. Everybody can meet up and have some drinks, have some Mexican food, hang out and talk cars. Just keep a watch on our social media stuff for all that. I'm OneFast50 on Instagram, Southeast Foxbody on Instagram, and Southeast Foxbody on Facebook. So y'all behave, don't step on any down power lines, and enjoy your weekend.